Welcome to this guided exercise to support and help you remain grounded in the midst of a myriad of sensations and thoughts that we often experience in our perception. Finding stillness. This is the true allowing, and this is the true us. Even in the midst of chaos, the eye of the storm is the fixed point which never moves. It remains still, unperturbed, unmoved, unaffected. This is your mind, and beyond that, your awareness. Your higher consciousness in 0 point energy. So like a tree or a plant, however buffeted by the environment, the changeable conditions, the weather, the events we experience, we need to grow still strong roots so that whilst superficially we are swayed hither and thither, we exist in the roots. Consider your roots, how deep and still they are. Grounded, untouched by all that happens above ground, all that happens in our thoughts, in our body, the sensations, the memories, the images. The pain, the fear, the turbulence, the chaos is above ground. It is outside our awareness, and we are beyond its reach. There is no need to reject it. We can allow the tree, the flower, the plant, this iteration which we experience, to freely move from our awareness, observing it from beyond. Consider then what it would be like to identify and live in this still root, rather than that which emanates from it. The stabilizing, the peace, the centeredness, unaffected by others, unaffected by our thoughts, our sensations, our pain, the past or the future. Living only in this moment, complete and still, at the center of all we experience through our perceptual apparatus. This profound inner core is available to us if we practice. And remember, we are the root. We free ourselves from the influence of all the strong stimuli that come through our sense data and our thinking. And we can remember that we are the one simply experiencing them. We do not need to reject these stimuli. In fact, the more chaotic, the stronger they are, the more it reminds us of our still point, of our root, separate, beyond, safe. We start to discover that we are the witness, and we can allow anything to take place within our awareness. When we find ourselves open and vulnerable to the experiences we experience, to the conditions we observe, the feelings and the beliefs, the judgment, criticism, disapproval, and words of others. It is so easy to fall into them, tempting to entangle with them. But who is it that is hearing, understanding, experiencing, observing, thinking? It is us, the root. But we forget that we are this root, the one observing. And we are observing the flower, the tree, the leaves being buffeted and subjected to the environment. An environment beyond our ability to control it at this moment. But we can control our perception of it. From beyond it, with stillness, equanimity. These external influences, environments, people, things, thoughts, pain, only have power if we let them. If we live above the ground. The freedom, peace, safety and equanimity come not from wrestling with these sensations, these stimuli, and trying to manage them, fix them, change them, control them, but by snapping back, stepping back, zooming out to the refuge of our mind, to allow, to be aware of the experience from a vista of the stillness beyond the experience itself. Thus we become unbound by our choice not to engage with the sensation, the object, the phenomena our awareness is showing us. We step beyond the need to suppress it, change or fix it, to defend it, or to defend the disapproval of others. We become unshackled from the objects we perceive as we realize we are the perceiver. We bring from the shadow into the light all aspects of ourselves that we cast there. All those hidden aspects that continue to influence us from the subconscious. How we behave, reason, act, and permit others to treat us. Each aspect we have sought to reject in us, welcome it back from the refuge of the root, grounded, safe, tolerant, compassionate, and so deep and still that no matter how dramatic the weather pattern above ground, we are unaffected by it. It may seem unfamiliar. It may seem like a threat. This object we are perceiving. Like entering a dark room, may seem frightening because we do not know what's there. We do not understand it, have a point of reference. Until we turn on the light and illuminate it to reveal it's all an illusion. But this illusion has been magnified by our fears and misunderstandings of where the darkness actually is. And the very darkness we feared is actually part of us. And by staying in the root, staying in our awareness, allowing our mind to present to us whatever it has chosen for us without resistance, we welcome it back. And behind this fear lies the opportunity to become more still, more authentic, more complete, perfectly imperfect, whole, who we truly are. And as we stand back in our mind, we see clearly for the first time our patterns, repression, our limiting beliefs, the iterations above ground that are there subject to the conditions. But we have turned on the light. We have illuminated. We have enlightened. And that fear was just wanting to be seen and understood. It's helping us. And as we integrate it by simply allowing it be there, to be shown to us. We bring these parts back. We now have choice, previously lost to us. We update. The past no longer defines us. It no longer directs us. Our history, our programs, no longer control the present moment. Do our experiences define us? Does our pain define us? Our situation? Others' opinions? Our body? Of course not. These are just the visible parts of us above the ground. But we are the root. And as we zoom out to remember this, we see clearly and choose with objectivity to simply allow. And if, where necessary, we are called to action, we choose from a place of wholeness. We develop stronger, deeper roots. We strengthen our center. We stand firm at this root and are able to bend and move with the conditions, with the weather patterns, and we adapt to whatever arises with ease and grace. We can become comfortable with discomfort, and we update our present with a new information, one that transcends the ego, the small self, allowing. And we expand beyond what we merely experience above ground to the depths, the expansive, still, grounded, unmoving, unchanging roots. And in time, we can zoom out even further, and we see that the roots and the tree are one. The experience and the one experiencing the experience are one. The thinker and the thought, the sensor and the sense are one. And both describe each other and define each other. And it is the stillness of one that shows the movement of the other, and the movement that shows the stillness. All within the expansive, wide, compassionate, infinite space that is ultimately who we are, aware, never moving, never changing, always at peace.